Finally, guys, we have a full grid in MotoGP. Thank the Moto gods. Aprilia have convinced somebody to sit on the second bike alongside Aleix Espargaro and throw it around a few tracks. I was really interested when I took a closer look and realised that every team bar one is going into this season with a different lineup than what they went into last season with. So it really got me thinking, who has the strongest rider lineup in MotoGP? So what I've decided to do is handily rank them for you. From 11 to 1, I'm going to put what I think is the worst lineup in MotoGP up to the best lineup in MotoGP. So let's get into it. All right, starting at the bottom, obviously, team number 11. This was actually pretty difficult for me to split the bottom two. At 11, I have gone with the Aprilia lineup of Aleix Espargaro and Lorenzo Savadori. I really like Aleix. Think he's a bit of a ledge. He's been in it a long time. Unfairly hasn't achieved that much in MotoGP in terms of results, but I think he's been a major part of a lot of teams developing some really strong bikes. So it's not him that's holding them into the bottom spot here. It's Savadori, really. Competent rider, but really it's a bit of a left field choice. It's pretty widely known that they tried to lure sort of 3 or 4 riders from Moto2, couldn't get them to sign on the dotted line. I think they may have tried to bring someone across from, was it Baz or someone from Superbikes? Chaz Davies maybe? Nobody seems to want that seat, except maybe Bradley Smith for a while, but they lost the chance to get him when they and ahed over bringing in other guys instead of just pulling the trigger on Smith. I think maybe if this was Smith, it might have got them off the bottom place, but yeah, Aleix's ability alone wasn't enough to get him off the bottom spot for me. So at number 10, this is the other team that I really struggled to split with them. I was very tempted to put them at the bottom, but at number 10, we've got the Tech 3 KTM squad. 2 good riders, just a very tough field at the moment. I just have them. It's Danilo Petrucci, I really like. I think he's probably the nicest guy on 2 wheels, and we all love to see him do well, but the consistency isn't there. Struggles when conditions aren't right for him, circuit isn't right for him. Obviously, we won't forget Mugello for him on the Ducati, but that'll be the pinnacle of his career for me. That it's not going to get any better than that for him now. And with Ikelekumono, he's the kicker that gets them above the Aprilias in this list, just that he's stronger than Savadori. He's young, didn't do a lot in Moto2 and in the junior classes, but at least you can see there's a bit of potential and ability there. So Tech 3 at number 10. You could probably throw a blanket over the next 3 or 4 teams here again. Tough one to split. It's a very competitive field at the moment. I do think we are getting generally the strongest riders are in MotoGP at the moment, bar a couple of riders here and there that we'd like to see in there. Jonathan Ray. But at number 9, I've gone for the full rookie team of the VR46 Academy boys, Andrea Bastianini and Luca Marini. I like this team. I think this is going to be a pretty strong lineup. It'd be very learning year, old spec bikes, not expecting results, but on the fringes of the top 10, I'm thinking at a few races, and maybe if things go their way, they'll pop up with a few decent results. But yeah, very much a learning year. I like this team though. I think this has got potential, this one. So that's number 9. And number 8, I've gone with the Lcr Honda team of Alex Marquez and Taka Nakagami. This was a tough one to put as low as it is, because Alex Marquez, obviously a world champion in his own right. Nakagami would have been the strongest Honda rider last season without Mark Marquez there. This just doesn't excite me as much as maybe the next 2 teams do. But like I said, I think this is a very strong team as well. It's very hard to split some of these teams this year. So yeah, number 8, it's Lcr Honda. Look, I've got them as the 4th worst rider lineup here. It's a bit harsh to put them that low. Maybe the performance of the Honda last season is why they're going to be that low. They didn't quite get the results that they would have been expecting. So yeah, number 8, Lcr Honda. At number 7, I've gone with the Pramac Ducati squad. Brand new lineup for these guys. Bringing in one rookie in Jorge Martin. They've got a leader there in Johan Zarco, who, if you saw my last video, I've put down as my prediction to be rider of the season. I think he's going to outperform that bike. I think he's going to be mixing it up there for podiums and things like that at points during the season. I think he's going to be strong. This team does excite me. I've only got them still this low because Jorge Martin being the unknown quantity here. I mean, obviously we know from his Moto2, but when you're a rookie, it can be a hard learning year for you. The pressure will be on him. He's been given a new spec bike. Not that I think he's going to be poor, but just that slight unknown. Whereas the team that I've got just above them here doesn't have the unknown. They've got a full season of running near the front to put them above Pramac here. At number 6, it's the Red Bull KTM team, the factory side for KTM, Brad Binder and Miguel Oliveira. 2 race winners now, 2 Grand Prix winners in MotoGP. This is a good team. This is going to be, if this bike has the quality that it had last year and maybe builds on it, this could be dangerous. I could potentially see this winning another 2 or 3 races this season, this team. Oliveira, stiff not to get the ride ahead of Binder last season, but look, he won't be complaining after picking up 2 race wins last season and then getting the job this season. This is a strong team for me. Young guys, quick, know how to win races now. That's my number 6. At number 5, now it gets difficult here as well because we're into another factory team here. You actually could just throw a blanket over the next 5. This is all going to be up to personal opinion for you guys. This is where I've got them. Kind of had to split them just by results last season a little bit, and then a little bit on how much this team excites me. I'm a little bit surprised where I put this one because it's got my lad Jack Miller, of course being the factory Ducati team, Jack Miller and Pecco Bagnaia. I've obviously made it clear in my last video that I think Miller's going to be a title challenger this season, so it's strange that I've got them that low, and it's going to reflect poorly on my opinion of Pecco Bagnaia, but I assure you I do like the kid. I think he's quick. I think he's definitely going to be an exceptional rider in the future. But I had to split them somehow, and for this one I've split them on his results last season were really up and down. Some races looked like you couldn't touch him, he was flying, and then other races you barely noticed he was there from Friday morning. So yeah, I got them at number 5, the Ducati team, but I do think this is a title challenge year for Miller, so let's see how we go. And this is where it could get a little bit controversial, guys, because at number 4, I've got the factory Yamaha team of Maverick Vinales and Fabio Quartararo. Fabio Quartararo. Yes. I think some people will have this as their strongest team this season, and I can 100% see that. 100%. Maverick usually puts himself in some kind of up there in the title race. Not that he really challenges all the time, but as you go through the season, you'll be surprised to see his name pop up whenever they show the top 4 riders in the championship in the bottom corner, live updates and stuff, and he'll always be sitting there 3rd or 4th or 2nd or whatever. And Fabio, we know his quality. If you can sort out the capitulation he had at the end of last season, he is a world title threat for sure. Could have been world champion easily this season. Maybe that's an issue with the Yamaha, I don't know, that they couldn't push it in certain circuits. It does tend to only work on some tracks, so whether that's his fault or not, I don't know. He could be better than it showed, but yeah, tough selection this. Like I said, a lot of people have this as their strongest team for the season. There's something about Maverick Vinales that does not excite me though. And it's a little bit of the, I don't want to call it the Pedrosa syndrome. That seems harsh. He'd be right up there in most race wins in history, I think. But obviously didn't have that X factor that it takes to go on and win the world title. The likes that, you know, maybe even Jorge and Stoner had in that same period. Like I said, he's always up there in the points, but goes missing on big days, and that's what's kind of holding this team back for me. So yeah, at number 4, the monster Yamaha factory team. We're into the top 3 now, podium positions. At number 3, Petronas Yamaha SRT. I know what some of you are going to be thinking. It's just Rossi. And putting these guys above the factory team, hey, Frankie says relax. But, you know, Rob, he's barely got anywhere near it last season. I think he picked up 1 podium. Yeah, you're right. I can't argue with that. But what do you want me to say? It's Rossi. If you offer me Rossi and Morbidelli I think is class. I think this guy is class. I think this team's going to be a lot of fun to watch this season. Those two going at it. Obviously good friends. Morbidelli coming through the academy system that Rossi's got set up. They know each other really well. This is where the thing goes. On paper, you'd probably go for the factory team above this, but something to do with my gut and my feeling on it and my excitement levels about watching them get on the track. This is up there for me, this one. This is why they outrank it. It's more of a gut feel, this one, than an actual result on paper kind of thing. So Frankie Morbidelli, Valentino Rossi, it's a winner for me. Okay, we're into the top two now. This is where it gets difficult again. Do I want to swap that? No, I'm going to leave it. I am going to leave it. At number 2, Suzuki factory team. They've got the world champion, Juan Mir. If you refer again to my last video, I've picked Rins to be my world champion this year in my season predictions video. Spoiler alert. Again, this is more of an on paper, logical one. You've got the world champion, and then in Rins we've got a rider that if he has a good season he's going to go win 2, 3, maybe even 4 races. This is a strong team for me. Very strong. Clearly above the last three I mentioned, but probably just not enough to get over our number 1 team, which obviously is the Repsol Honda team. Marc Marquez, clearly the best rider in MotoGP. I guess we don't know how he's going to come back from this injury. He may not be the same. If he is, then him and Pol Espargaro together is a dynamite team, and I think definitely best on the grid. Definitely best on the grid. Pol's quality, it was a bit harsh on him that he spent those years with KTM, and in the end of the day, he's not the one that delivered them a race win. But I don't think that'll play on his mind too much. I think he's got the quality. I think he's an obvious choice for them to bring in. I think they pretty much had to, right? And then with Marc, what do you say? He's just the quickest guy. He's the quickest guy. We are going to put an asterisk next to this one because I don't think Marc's going to be back for the first few races at least. I'm thinking he's going to be back in Catalonia for his first race, which is in June. If it's a Bradl Pol Espargaro for the first few races lineup, then it's going lower down. But with Marc there, if he turns up, if he's back to his best, this is the best team on the grid. And that's it, guys. I've got them all ranked 11-1. Chuck down in the comments your team rankings in the order that you've got them. It's actually a really fun thing to do. So, of course, fully subjective, all this sort of stuff. This is just how I've got them. Give us a like, subscribe if you can, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks again, guys.